Hello, hello. Hello, hello, dear friends. Today I am in Rome, and since... Good evening, Tiziana. Thank you. You too. Since I am in Rome, I have my precious old Nepalese drum. And I want to tell you when and how I got it, and about the trip that I had with Bola. Some of you know Bola because I've been following him for quite a long time and introducing him as well to all my friends. He was, Bola Banstola was the Nepalese shaman that I met in Riccione at a festival. At the same time I met also Angelo Bona. That was around the year 2000. And there I actually started my the most important part of my work and research, let's say, in this field. In 2006, after hosting Bola in my studio in Rome and in Tuscany, I decided to go to Nepal with him because he was organizing Happy New Year and good evening to you all. I was decided to go, or he was organizing trips to Nepal to meet other shamans of different ethnic groups. So that year also was a very important year because I went to Nepal, and right after that I went to the States to do my training with Brian Weiss in past lives therapy. As I was saying, in 2000 I met Bola, and I met also Angelo Bona, and with him I had already started my training in regressive hypnosis and past lives therapy. So anyway, 6 years later, again, another very important year for me, I did these two experiences. So when I was in Nepal, that as I said, we were to meet shamans, we went to Pokhara, which is a base camp for the Himalayas excursions, and as well is there is it hosts a camp of Tibetan people, refugees. And we met three shamans. The three shamans were there. So the first day, and that was the first experience with any shaman of the trip. The first day we went to visit the oldest of the three, and he was really old and frail. But he had old ways of working, and in fact he had a butterfly winged head dress. Anyway, he was an extractor like the other two, but he used a goat horn to suck out of the body of the person all the ill-causing energies or entities. These the three of them called upon themselves to descend on themselves the same divinity who was a female divinity with traits, facial traits and features of a tiger, and also a temperament of a tiger. And that induced reverential fear in the poor assistants of the shamans, that they were all ill-treated or ordered around, bossed around, and in us that were watching. We also were going to be patients of the shaman, of the divinity. In fact, in the first guy, he started with his damaru and the bells, enchanting his prayer of invitation for the divinity. And when the divinity got into him, his wing headdress, from being floppy, they started spreading out like a sail in the wind. So that was already pretty impressive. Anyway, then we went to the second one, and the second one I was there watching, and at one point I had a good idea of using my own techniques, and I said, "Ciao Marina, I want to try." The person was some guy sitting in front of me. We were sort of doing nothing, waiting. So I decided to do my treatments, and that was it. The day after, we went to the third shaman, and he was the shaman with whom I was supposed to be working. And he actually was the one with the most accentuated tiger-like features in the face, and again in the temperament. So when I go and I sit in front of him, there were two interpreters, the one interpreter from Tibetan to Nepalese, and Bola, that from Nepalese translated into Italian. And I can see that both of them were a bit ill at ease, a bit embarrassed, because the shaman dash divinity looked at me, glanced at me, and then started talking. And she was amused. She was talking and she was amused. The more amused she was, the more embarrassed were the interpreters. At one point, the translation. And the translation was, look at her. While I'm working, she's doing her own things, doing healing. What does she think she thinks she is? And now we were all terrified. But then she looked into my eyes and changed expression. And as fierce she was before, she became gentle and loving. And she said, yes, you can do it. Your heart is opened. And it was the most touching experience that I really had. So then she proceeded doing her thing, and she said, what do you have? And I said, I have a gallbladder. Okay, a problem. So I pulled my jacket up, and I bared the side of my body. She put a gauze on that part, and then with a roar and her canines sharp, she came to bite the bad entities or whatever it was there that was creating my problems at the gallbladder. And then she pulled out of the mouth this still the gauze with inside some brownish stuff. And sorry if it is disgusting, but she ate it then. So that was the first experience. Then there were other two Nepalese, a Niwari ethnia, and in Niwari actually he painted his face as a woman, and then he had an epileptic fit. He started rolling, and after a good time of convulsions, he said, hey, you, come and try to bend my legs. And it was a challenge that he was putting to us. So we went to try. It was full. The room was full of people, and his legs, his body was like steel, hard like steel. We couldn't do anything. So eventually, satisfied of having won the challenge, he goes to sit, or she goes, because again, a female, and probably it was Kali. So also Kali is very dear to me, and started. And when I went there, she told me a lot of things. Everything was true, and eventually she told me that I would open my own ashram. And then a third was the Guri Devi, a woman this time, and she started shaking because this is another sign that the divinity is in you. So that was the trip to Nepal. Okay, after the first experience, I really got the idea clearly, because I had no idea, in fact, what I was going to do and to witness. But after the first experience, I understood. And I understood two things very important. One is that the divinity is everywhere. It's not only in the body but is everywhere. So she could witness the day before with another shaman that I was doing my things, and two, that in some traditions, like also in the Andean traditions, you give the negativities, let's say, all these ill-causing intrusions, you give them as an offering to the Pachamama or to this divinity, because they are they glut these things. These things are delicatessen, delicacies for them, and and that is because they transform these bad energies into good energies, into nourishment and health for us. So that is the story. Now you will see the drum. This drum is used by the shamans. It's used in a traditional way. They have a specific way of drumming with a chant that they use. Obviously, this is not for me, but this was my first, and it's still very precious, because I know that there is the spirit of the drum, and so it's a treasure. I treasure it, and I'm very glad that I could do today. I could play it again after a long time, and I could play it for you. Okay, the other thing is that, as I've been saying for a long time, not for a long time, for the last few times, is that I'm very pleased to see that I've been transmitting all I know that I didn't know I knew, but I do now, and I'm transmitting it to you, so that you are able to do this, and this is move the energy in a way that has meaning, in a way that will help the world and the universe to change, to evolve into light, into love, into peace, into harmony. So thank you again for being there, and now we shall see with my wonderful drum what we will see. Thank you. At the beginning, I saw a volcano, and then a sunrise. The volcano became two mountains and a big sun rising. Then I saw like smoke. The energy was very subtle and the sound was very gentle. And this gentle energy, like smoke, very floated in the air, and then took the shape of a big lotus flower opening up. So again, we were talking of the seventh chakra, the Sahasrara chakra. It wasn't a fountain like the previous times I saw. It was very, very, very gentle, very subtle, very harmoniously moving and opening up. A beautiful, beautiful flower, beautiful movements. Then I saw again a coast with a pine tree and a sailboat. And then when I changed the face of the drum, a horse and a Mongolian guy riding the horse. He was a hunter. He was an eagle, had an eagle or a falcon on his wrist. And I could see him running with the horse, with the eagle hunting, and eventually he was in a beautiful canyon of red rocks, and at night camping in a tent and a fire, eating a wild rabbit that he caught. And then I saw him in a yurta and throat singing. Anyway, when he was sitting with his fire, all the stars, a magnificent sky with stars. So he was, his life was with nature, in nature, and he enjoyed the beauty, the magnificence of the eagle, of the sky during the day, the sky at night, of the rocks, of the landscape, of the horse, beautiful horse, Baio. And then I saw the sailboat in the sea, in the water, and there I felt again this living with nature, in nature. So even the hunting, in both cases, because the boat was fishing, the fishing and the hunting were not violent or cruel. They were part of they are part of life, and they were part of a natural way of living, of being in an harmonious relationship with nature. So this is again the suggestion. Now, if that was a past life for someone of us, I don't know. We shall see next time if it will happen. About the coast, I thought of you, Tiziana, because there were pine trees and it looked like a French coast. So maybe it has to do with you. Hopefully you'll find your apartment away from these people that are bothering you, and maybe you'll find right on the beach, maybe an apartment. Anyway, so that I felt that it was calling up to enjoy life, but enjoy not a life of exploitation, a life of love of nature and of thankfulness of what there is and what is given, in appreciation. So I thank you for having made me think back of my shamans, of the divinities that were there, that talked to me, to my heart. The tiger is actually with me all the time. And she was here today, so she actually goes to retrieve past lives. That is why I thought that maybe the Mongol was a past life. But we shall see. And if that sounds close to any one of you, please let me know, because maybe there is something there we have healed, or we can heal. So again, thank you for being with me and with us and with my beautiful drum. Ciao. Ah, bene. Bene. Potrebbe essere una tua vita? Could that be the tiger? Went to Marina as well. And I was wondering if that life could be hers. In any case, I will be waiting for your comments, and once again, thank you very much, and I will see you next Sunday, hopefully. Ciao. Ciao. Love, much love.